July is almost over, and so is our sub battle for the month, with Giants now only 19 subscribers away. So let's absolutely dust Marshall Green and Giants now and prove that Saints fans are better than New York Giants fans. Hit the sub button and let's win our July sub battle. Plus, you get daily Saints videos by fans for fans. We got major news to discuss here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. Updates on free agents Noah Fant and Asante Samuel Jr. So I highly encourage you to stick around through the duration of this video because we're going to start off by talking about Noah Fant and the updates around him, and then we're going to talk about Asante Samuel Jr. What's going on? Why isn't he signed? Is he still coming to New Orleans? We're going to break it all down here in a moment. But really quickly, we're going to start things off with Noah Fant. So right now, the latest reports are that he is drawing significant interest, and he is now being hosted on a free agency visit by the Miami Dolphins today. So he has now had 3 free agency visits after this one today with the Miami Dolphins. The former first-round pick out of Iowa is definitely an intriguing option. He would be an explosive player and definitely add to whatever offense he ends up being signed to. Now, it is worth noting, if he wants to sign to a place, that is part of it. A team has to show interest, but he has to be interested because he is a free agent, so it takes 2 to tango here. So in terms of the visits that Noah Fant has had, started off with the Cincinnati Bengals, visited with the New Orleans Saints last week, and then the Miami Dolphins. They have him on a visit today. So here's the latest updates as to where Noah Fant is visiting and what he's got going on. But I want to talk about why I think he would be a fit for the New Orleans Saints, because when you take a look at the current tight end room in New Orleans, before I went on vacation, it looked one way. Now it's very different because Dallin Holker retired last week, so he is no longer on this roster. Jack Stoll, Michael Jacobson, both having some interesting camps so far. Seth Green, an intriguing option, has some really nice versatility. Former quarterback, could be a tight end. Dare I say maybe a Taysom Hill type player? Not really, but just saying. Maliki Madavau, he also was a 7th-round pick, but there's injuries to Foster Moreau, Taysom Hill. We talked about the injury updates for those 2 players, both of them progressing nicely. Neither of them have actually suited up and participated in practice yet. They've been working off to the side in individual drills, so it's nice to see them out there. Updates are positive, but they are not able to return quite yet. So when you consider the tight end room, it's Juwan Johnson, Jack Stoll, Maliki Madavau. You kind of like, man, there's still a lot left to be desired in this group. I think that Foster Moreau and Taysom Hill will return eventually. Foster Moreau much sooner than Taysom Hill, but Noah Fant certainly is an option that really makes me interested. He's 6'4", 250 pounds. And he has a 4.5 40 speed. I mean, that right there alone as a tight end should get you a little bit excited about potentially bringing this player to the New Orleans Saints. He would be an explosive addition to the tight end room in New Orleans, and he's appeared in 95 out of 100 regular season games that he could have potentially played in. He's taken less than 40% of snaps in those 95 games just twice. So he's durable, he's on the field a lot, he's available, and he does have that first-round pedigree, being the 20th overall selection by the Denver Broncos back in 2019 out of Iowa. And we all know that Iowa tight ends, they tend to translate to the NFL pretty well, I would say. Now, Juwan Johnson, he did speak about the addition of Noah Fant, and people might be like, well, he doesn't want him here. He's going to take snaps away. It actually could not be further from the truth. Juwan Johnson saying that Noah Fant adds so much. One, he can add a lot of explosiveness to the offense, and I'd be extremely excited to have him here. We're going to go to the rest of the quote in a moment, but let's talk about that explosive player that could potentially be a New Orleans Saint. In his first 2 years, he had 3 touchdowns for the Denver Broncos in 2019 and in 2020. 14.1 yards per catch in his rookie season. Hasn't quite lived up to that rookie season in terms of the average yards per catch, but 4 touchdowns in 2022. He had some decent production in 2023, and then in 2024, 500 yards, 1 touchdown. I'd like to see him get a little bit more involved if he does come to the New Orleans Saints, but I do think him paired with Kellen Moore in the offense of Juwan Johnson and Foster Moreau and all the other pass catchers, it could be a really nice safety blanket for players like Tyler Shuck and Spencer Rattler, who will be the quarterbacks this year. Now, Juwan Johnson continued to say, I think it be such a good addition. It'll give the locker room a good boost, and it'll get us going. I honestly think it's great. Like I said, it's never like a competition. It's more camaraderie and collaboration. It only makes the room better. And I think for the New Orleans Saints, understanding that you're going to have a young passer regardless, or a young/inexperienced passer, regardless if it's Tyler Shuck or Spencer Rattler, you got to give that passer options, and you have to give him players that make them feel comfortable throwing the ball. If they have pressure in their face, who can be their trusted source and who can be their trusted outlet? Is that Noah Fant? Is it Juwan Johnson? Is it Chris Olave? Those questions need to be answered. I do believe Noah Fant would be an excellent addition to the New Orleans Saints, but like I mentioned a little bit ago, it takes two to tango. So if I'm Noah Fant, of the teams that I visited thus far, I'm picking the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, you got Joe Burrow throwing you the football, one of the best passers in the National Football League, one of my favorite quarterbacks in the NFL. It's also a really, really nice situation in a high-powered offense. He would definitely be featured. He would play next to Mike Gesicki, and, of course, you have T. Higgins and you have Jamar Chase, but I think that having another player in Cincinnati would, one, make sense for them, and two, you probably have the best chance to play meaningful football late into the season with the Cincinnati Bengals. That's just my take. It's just my opinion. If I'm Noah Fant, would pick the Bengals, but if I'm the New Orleans Saints, I'm also extremely interested in signing this player. Now, what do you think? Should the Saints sign Noah Fant? Type sign or pass down in the comment section. I want to hear from you, and I want you guys to let me know, if you would sign him, what would you pay him? Now, let's talk about what's going on with Asante Samuel Jr. Reminder, this guy missed a lot of time last season because of a neck injury, only 25 years old, and certainly a player that a lot of Saints fans are interested in. He's a player that actually has visited with the New Orleans Saints. So what's happening? Well, why has he not been signed? Let's just add a little bit of context here and kind of peel back the curtain. So in case you missed it, I'm not going to call him Saints legend, but non-Saints legend Eli Apple, he has recently signed with the San Francisco 49ers. And immediately, I think, hold on, Saints play against the 49ers. They match up week 2. Saints play the Cardinals week 1. Might be a win. Saints week 2. I mean, if Eli Apple's playing, sure feels like a 300-yard game for Chris Olave in week 2, doesn't it? I mean, shoot. Is it fair to say every single player on the offense would have a career game if Eli Apple is lined up opposite? Kellen Moore is going to dust that fool. Either way, just having fun with it, just joking around. But it is weird that Eli Apple has been signed before Asante Samuel Jr. I think it's a weird thing, and I think it's something that doesn't make a lot of sense to me considering the type of player, or not the type, but like how good each of these different players are. Asante Samuel Jr. much better than Eli Apple, but for Asante Samuel Jr., remember, he was dealing with that neck injury, and the reports were that whenever he was visiting with the New Orleans Saints from Jeremy Fowler, that he would have neck surgery in April. He visits the Saints in May, and he intends to play with the Saints, or not with the Saints, but he intends to play this season. And there's ties there. Brandon Staley coached him from 2021 to 2023. He's only 25 years old, turns 26 in October. He's a very productive cornerback, a really nice player with some good experience. The best ability is availability, but if he can be on the field, he is a damn good cornerback. And remember, Asante Samuel Jr. was supposed to have checkups in early July. Now we're sitting here at 2:36 p.m., July 28th on a Monday, and I'm thinking, well, early July is come and gone, and we still don't know what's going on with Asante Samuel Jr. The reports were also, after we get these updates and these checkups, they would reconvene, and he should have some serious interest. So what's going on with Asante Samuel Jr.? I'm going to get to the bottom of it, but really quickly, got to tell you guys about this awesome sale. Chatsports.com/Saints sale. Link is in the comments and description of this video. Go click it to get yourself this awesome sideline shirt. It's absolutely fresh, and I know you need some more Saints gear this season. So if you're looking for some stuff to rep the black and gold at a workout, or you just want an awesome-looking shirt, go click the link in the comments and description, chatsports.com/Saints sale. It's the last chance to get this shirt on sale for only $24. Now, how in the hell did Burnt Toast get signed before Asante Samuel Jr.? Well, I think there's a reason for it. I don't think that it was an accident that Eli Apple got signed before Asante Samuel Jr. I think that there's a reason that other cornerbacks have been signed before Asante Samuel Jr. And I think that there is a reason why he has not signed yet. And I don't think it's a contractual thing. I don't think it's a scheme fit thing. I genuinely believe it could be the injury. It may not be rehabbing or going the way we want it to. And I do think Asante Samuel Jr. would be an excellent addition if he's healthy to this cornerback group. I mean, I'm a big fan of Kool-Aid McKinstry. I really think Quincy Riley has a great opportunity ahead of him. But Isaac Yiadom right now is etched to be the starter opposite of McKinstry, with Alontae Taylor being kind of a joke, not a joker, but a star player and kind of playing all over the defense in Brandon Staley's scheme as a defensive back. There's a big, big opportunity ahead for Quincy Riley. He was a player that the New Orleans Saints selected on day two, and I'm very, very excited to see what he can do. He's already been making some plays at training camp. We've seen him get active in pass breakups and interceptions. He's got a lot of energy, a lot of swagger. It really does feel like you get the best of letting go Paulson Adebo. I see clips of him at Giants training camp getting absolutely dusted. I see Quincy Riley making plays for the Saints. So to me, I feel like the Saints made the right decision in letting Paulson Adebo go and keeping around Quincy Riley. But I genuinely think this is your best option if Asante Samuel Jr. does not have a good injury progression and a good injury rehabilitation. But there are other options. I don't love any of these. I want to make this explicitly clear. The only player I'm really that interested in signing on this list is Asante Samuel Jr. Maybe you could talk me into Stephon Gilmore, but 34 years old kind of makes me concerned. Playing at a high level, but I just don't love the options that are available in free agency at the cornerback position. I agree that corner is a position in need for the Saints, but I just don't love who's available right now. We could potentially revisit this conversation when roster cutdowns happen and whenever some of these guys become available at the end of training camp and before the season. So when it comes to the New Orleans Saints, right now they have just under $23 million of cap space to spend. So you could choose to spend some of that on a cornerback. Maybe you go get a wide receiver like a Keenan Allen or an Amari Cooper or something like that. Or maybe you go and sign Noah Fant and Asante Samuel Jr. All in all, I'm not totally sure what the New Orleans Saints will do, but I am confident in the belief that the Saints should still show interest in Asante Samuel Jr., but don't sign him unless he checks out medically. And it sucks. I don't know 100% what's going on in Asante Samuel Jr.'s life, but from all of the things that I've seen, from all of the context, when you add it all together, it just really feels like injuries are what's keeping him from being signed. And that's why Eli Apple has a job and Asante Samuel Jr. still a free agent. Now, I want to hear from you in the Who Dat Nation. Type QR for Quincy Riley or shout out a cornerback. What would you do? Do you have belief in Quincy Riley? Just let him be the starter and you're good to go? Or do you think the Saints need to go and sign a corner? If you want them to sign one, shout one out. We gave you a list. Just rewind it if you need to check it out. My number one is Asante Samuel Jr. Other than that, I'm just going to go ahead and roll with Quincy Riley. Who Dat Nation, I do appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling with us in today's video. Friendly reminder, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're trying to win our sub battle against Marshall Green and Giants now. They have over 70,000 subscribers. We're on the road to 50K. So hit that sub button, lock us in, and y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.